dear students, in today's video lecture we are going to see the part of Chief Minister under the state government. Coming to the point of discussion, the contents which we are going to see are introduction, appointment, powers and functions of Chief Minister. So in general, in the Republic of India, a Chief Minister is the elected head of government of the each state. Okay, so generally Chief Minister is head of each state, okay, elected by the government. And according to the Constitution of India, the governor in a state's head, but due to the executive authority rests with the chief minister. So a chief minister basically heads a state government, council of ministers, and can be deputed in the role of deputy chief ministers. Okay, so intention behind this photograph of chief minister over here is he is the recent chief minister of our state. Okay, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, that is the concern behind the photo over here. Okay, so in the scheme of parliamentary system of government provided by the constitution, the governor is the nominal executive authority and the chief minister is the real authority. Okay, so there is a difference between both. In other words, governor is the head of state while the chief minister is the head of government. Thus, the position of chief minister at the state level is analogous to the position of prime minister at the center. Like we say, head of the country is a prime minister, whereas head of the state is a chief minister. So, appointment of chief minister. So, basically, the chief minister is elected through a majority in the state legislative assembly. This is a procedural establishment by the vote of confidence in the legislative assembly and are suggested by the governor of the state who is appointing the authority. So they are elected for 5 years. Okay, so basically how the chief minister is appointed for a state? The chief minister is appointed by the governor who also appoints other ministers on the advice of chief minister. So the council of ministers is collectively responsible to legislative assembly of the states. Okay, so the constitution does not contain any specific procedure for the selection and appointment of the chief minister. Article number 164 of Constitution of India only says that the chief minister shall be appointed by the governor. However, this does not imply that the governor is free to appoint any one of the chief minister. Okay, so it's not like the governor can appoint anyone as a chief minister. He has to follow some protocols. In accordance with the conventions of the parliamentary system of government, the governor has to appoint the leader of the majority party in the state legislative assembly and the chief minister. But when no party has a clear majority in the assembly, then the governor may exercise his personal discretion in the selection and appointment of the chief minister. So in such a situation, the governor usually appoints the leader of the largest party or coalition in the assembly as the chief minister, asks him to seek a vote of confidence in the house within a month. So basically, chief minister, when the chief minister in office dies suddenly and there is no obvious successor, however, on the death of the chief minister, the ruling party usually elects a new leader and the governor has no choice but to appoint him as a CM. So this may happen sometimes if there is a sudden death of a CM. At that time, governor may not play a role. So the constitution does not require that a person must prove his majority in the legislative assembly before he is appointed as a CM. So the governor may first appoint him as a CM and then ask him to prove his majority in the legislative assembly within a reasonable period. So this is a just an option which is being provided in such of the situations. So a person who is not a member of the state legislature can be appointed as a CM for only 6 months. So within which time he should be elected to the state legislature, failing which he ceases to be the CM. Okay, so according to the constitution, the CM may be a member of any of the two houses of a state legislature. Usually CM has been selected from the lower house, but on a number of occasions a member of the upper house has also been appointed as a CM. So powers and functions of the chief minister. So here according to the Constitution of India, the governor is a state, okay, the governor in the state appoints the persons as an ministers. Okay, a chief minister heads a state government council of ministers and can be deputed in that role by a deputy chief minister. So the current chief minister may be responsible for this. Okay, so the powers and the functions of chief minister can be studied depending on the following concepts, that is relation to the council of ministers. So the chief minister enjoys the following powers as a head of state council of minister. The governor appoints only those persons as ministers who are recommended by the CM. Secondly, he allocates and reshuffles the portfolios among the ministers. He can ask a minister to resign or advise the governor to dismiss him in case of difference of opinion. He presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers and influences its decisions. He guides, directs, controls and coordinates the activities of all the ministers. He can bring about the collapse of the Council of Ministers by resigning from office. Since the chief minister is the head of Council of Ministers, his resignation or death automatically dissolves the Council of Ministers. The resignation or death of any other minister, on the other hand, merely creates a vacancy which the chief minister may or may not like to fill it. Secondly, in relations to the governor, the chief minister enjoys the following powers in relation to the governor. He is the principal channel of communication between the governor and the council of ministers. It is the duty of CM to communicate to the governor of the state all the decisions of the council of ministers relating to the administration of the affairs, the state and the proposals of legislature. To furnish such information relating to the administration of the affairs of the state and proposals for the legislation as the governor may call for. If the governor so requires to submit for the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter on which a decision has to be taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the council. So the chief minister, he also advises the governor with regard to the appointment of important officials like Advocate General, Chairman and the members of the State Policy Service Commission, State Election Commissioner and so on. In relation to the state legislature, the chief minister enjoys the following powers as the leader of the house. He advises the governor with regard to summoning and proroguing of the session of the state legislature. He can recommend the dissolution of the legislature assembly to the governor at any time, and also he announces the government policies on the floor of the house. Also, along with this, there are some other powers and functions. He is the chairman of the state planning board. He acts as a vice chairman of the concerned zonal council by rotation, holding office for a period of 1 year at a time. He is a member of the Interstate Council and the Governing Council of NITI Aayog, both headed by the Prime Minister. He is the chief spokesman of the state government. He is the crisis manager in chief at the political level during emergencies. As a leader of a state, he meets various sections of the people and receives memoranda from them regarding their problems and so on. He is also a political head of the services. Thus, there are different roles where the CM has to play. He has to play a role with different bodies or the different functionalities. Okay. Then there are some relationships with the governor. Okay. So basically, as far as Constitution of India is concerned, there in article number 163 it is mentioned that there shall be a council of ministers with the chief ministers as the head to aid and advise the governor on the exercise of his functions, except in so far as he is required to exercise his functions or any of them in his discretion. Whereas in article number 164, the chief minister shall be appointed by the governor and other ministers shall be appointed by the governor on the advice of chief minister. See, very clearly it is mentioned in the Constitution of India and in article number 164 who has to appoint CM and who will be appointing the ministers. So the council of ministers shall be collectively responsible to the legislative assembly of the states. And the third important point which is mentioned in Constitution of India, article number 167 says that it shall be the duty of chief minister. So what are the duties of chief minister? To communicate with the governor of the state all decisions of the council of ministers which are relating to the administration of the affairs of the state and proposals for the legislation. So it is very necessary for a chief minister to be in touch or communicate with the governor and to furnish such information relating to the administration of affairs of the state and proposals for legislation as the governor may call for. If the governor so requires to submit for the consideration of the council of ministers any matter on which a decision has been taken by a minister but which has not been considered by the council. So in this lecture we studied in details about the chief minister, like how the chief minister is elected, what are the responsibilities and the duties of the chief ministers. Thank you.